The richest tyranny on earth, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The man in charge controls a $2 trillion pot of gold. He's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS for short.
Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
He's Prince Radical, the bringer of fancy new liberal policies.
MBS, I suppose, offered for them the image of a young leader. Here was a newcomer that would offer new blood to the Saudi system.
But there's a downside.
Mohammed is very young. The way he acts like a teenager would act.
He's impulsive, he's psychopath, he's narcissistic, and he's also suffering from grandiosity.
And there's another problem. He's ruthless, and a ton of evidence says he may be an accessory to the murder of Jamal Khashoggi.
We have strong evidence that it was a planned operation, not an accidental death.
In the old days, 3 years ago, the royal court in Riyadh ring-fenced power. It provided checks and balances, but the system was atrophied.
He has created the cult of MBS, in which those that surround him are not necessarily equals from the royal family, but men from the intelligence services. If he asks for something, demands something, they will not question it because they know that they themselves could be in danger.
With his father, King Salman, suffering from Alzheimer's, MBS came to power 3 years ago. He was everything Saudi Arabia was crying out for: young, energetic, a champion for change, both social and economic, or so it seemed. At 33, MBS is the youngest Saudi ruler for decades. But before he attained power, there were flickers that caused unease.
He appears to be average intelligence. He appears to be normal in terms of standard communication. But I think he's got some inborn problems magnified by the circumstances he was brought up with, being spoiled, absolutely spoiled boy.
Dr. Saad al-Faghi is strongly critical of the regime. For Riyadh, he is a dangerous Islamist, but he says such talk is an attempt to discredit him, and shares a story that is whispered about the Crown Prince back in Saudi Arabia.
When he was a teenager, he was interested in a very expensive real estate in Riyadh, and he just confiscated that. And the judge was planning to confirm the old ownership and cancel the prince fabricated ownership. When he knew that, he sent a letter, an envelope with 2 bullets as a message that if you do any of that, if you don't confirm that I am the owner, these 2 bullets will be in your head.
So MBS got a new nickname.
He is called Abu Rasasa. Abu Rasasa means the father of the bullet.
It's the thinness of MBS's skin for free speech away from the country that has shocked many Saudis in exile. Last month, a Saudi dissident, he's got millions of followers for his YouTube channel, highly critical and mocking of the Saudi royal family, was walking along this street in Knightsbridge with a friend when they were attacked. Now, the evidence suggests the attackers are men loyal to the Crown Prince, MBS. He was beaten up and the friend said, "Listen, you can't do this, this is London." And they said, according to the friend, "Fuck London. The Queen is our slave and their police are our dogs." The dissident they attacked was this satirist, Ghanem al-Masariya.
I was thinking they are here. When they attacked me, I thought, okay, it's they wanted to insult me, to humiliate me, to send a message to the others: you are not safe from us. It could be this is the first message. But since I saw what happened to Jamal Khashoggi, I think I am lucky.
Ghanem says with MBS, like father, like son.
The only difference between them and MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, is that he's in outrage and he thinks he can do whatever he wants and get away with it, even in an international soil.
Before the murder of Khashoggi, not one red light flashed about MBS, but three. First, Yemen. His war has seen countless dead, millions suffering famine, and no end in sight.
He thought, his inner circle tell me that he thought it will end in 2 weeks, and he rejected any advice from anybody that when you start a war on Yemen, you will never be able to finish it. He does not learn that these behaviors go wrong, because his impulsive nature always supersedes his learning ability.
Second, last November, MBS forced Lebanese PM Saad Hariri to stand down. Third, 11 princes and others accused of corruption ended up in the world's poshest prison, the Ritz-Carlton in Riyadh. It was a shakedown in the desert. And then this month came the silencing of Jamal Khashoggi.
If the Crown Prince is found to be connected to Khashoggi's murder.
One effect of the murder is that now many in the West are being critical of the kingdom.
The Crown Prince is 33 years old. There's a reason you can't run for president until you're 35.
In this country?
Yeah, in this country. He's been a wrecking ball.
Who would you compare MBS with?
Immediately, Saddam Hussein comes to mind in the way he dealt with his opponents, and also, I suppose, in terms of erratic behavior, a liability to international interests and also the interests of his own society, Muammar al-Gaddafi.
The British are signalling unease, but no clean break with Riyadh.
I think the Saudi government is very sensitive about external criticism, probably oversensitive, and that has led to this unacceptable act. So there are many lessons they can learn. Do I think that the relationship between Britain and Saudi Arabia will be fundamentally damaged, will be radically altered by this event? I think that the facts of Saudi Arabia's strategic importance remain, and therefore Britain will want to continue to have a strong relationship. But that doesn't mean that we should allow things like this to go unnoticed or be swept under the carpet. We obviously can't afford that.
For much of the scandal, the Trump house has given MBS the benefit of the doubt. Trump has boasted of Saudi donations worth millions of dollars. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is a close friend of MBS.
MBS is in deep trouble now. And he is not betting on Europeans, he's not betting on his own people, he's not betting on the media, he's betting only on Trump. So his last resort to survive is Trump.
Thus far, the Crown Prince's pitiless rule has cast a dark shadow not just on himself, but also on the houses of Saud and Trump. But $2 trillion is a lot of money, so its controller may well win through, though he be a common murderer or worse.